Ashish Panjabi, the Chief Operating Officer of Jacky's group of companies, many, many thanks indeed for staying with us.
Good to be here always, Richard.
Let's get to the 7 questions now. First one, which business leader would you invite for dinner?
Well, it's been the year of Apple, and it would have to be Steve Jobs at the moment. I mean, just to understand how this... Well, I don't think you can understand how his mind works, but, I mean, just to be with the genius that is Steve Jobs at the moment. Despite everything that's gone on, we aren't in the best of economic times, but out have come products which cost a lot and have sold like hotcakes.
Are they selling at hotcakes in your stores as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're still selling them, and we can't wait to get more. I mean, we're waiting for the iPhone 4 officially from Duane Etislot, which should hopefully come in next month, and off we go.
You know that there'll be queues and you'll be able to sell as many as you can get.
Well, the issue's always been getting them, and we hope we get as many as we can.
What's the best advice you've been given?
I said it last time, I say it again. Keep it simple, stupid. It comes down to the 4 letters, KISS. And then I think that's the way things are. We tend to overcomplicate things more than we have to. We tend to overanalyze more than we have to. And sometimes the easiest way to get from A to B is to go from A to B. That's it.
Favourite business gadget?
I just got a MacBook recently, and it's been one
Welcome
of the things
to the family.
Yeah, well, it's good to be there. I've been on the Windows platform for over 20 years and felt a bit like a traitor moving, but it's good to play with a Mac.
You know what? I was talking with someone. I do a lot of video editing work, and someone was asking me the question. I was talking about my new Mac that I'd bought, one of the many, and the person was saying, why is it that everyone in the video editing or media industry has Macs? And I looked at him and said, it's because they're cool. And they are really good for what they do. And there's no question that Macs for video editing and their software Final Cut is brilliant. But you know what? I've used PC-based stuff from Adobe, and it's equally good. Why did you change?
Well, for me, it just came down to the point that I started looking at it and I said, why am I using a PC versus a Mac? What are the advantages? And I started to look at it and I said, apart from the fact that I have email and MS Office files saved on my PC, everything else seems to be in a cloud now. So it doesn't actually matter what platform you're on, whether you're on a Mac or on a Windows platform, everything is in the cloud. All the other data uses over the internet. So it didn't actually make a big difference. And I said, well, let me try it out for the experience and see how I like it.
And you like it?
Yeah, it took me a couple of weeks to get used to it, getting used to right-clicking on the left instead of the right. But you learn how to minimize the windows and move on after a while.
But you don't yet have an iPad. You sell lots of them in your stores, but you don't have one in your, well, not in your pocket, but in your briefcase.
No, I've got an iPhone, I've got a BlackBerry, I've got the MacBook, I've got a lot of gadgets. I am trying to find a way of convincing myself to get an Android device, which is the next coolest thing out there at the moment. But you need to justify to yourself in your wallet at times.
Now, business achievement, which gives you the most satisfaction?
Well, I think it's been some of the awards we've had from the shopping malls, whether it be Dera City Centre, Mall of the Emirates over the years. We won the Retailer of the Year in the electronics category a couple of times from them, Sharjah City Centre as well. And then this is satisfying because we are in a very intense market. There is a lot of competition. And it's good to stand up above our peers and say, we've done it.
What do you look for when hiring staff?
They have to be challenge-oriented. They need to be growth-oriented. They need to be motivated. All too often you find people who come here and say, I can do this job, I can do that job, I can do anything you want me to do. And I don't know if that's the right person you need, because if he's going to do anything, and if he's been a cook or chef, and then he says, I'm going to come work as a salesperson for you, is he actually doing it because he wants to be a salesperson, or is he doing it because he says, I need a job that badly and I just need the money? So I look at people who are motivated and who do want to look up to challenge and accept it.
What's the best business book you've read?
It would be The Goal by Eli Goldratt. Sorry, it's one of those books I read in university, and it's an operations book, operations management book, and it's a simple story. It's about a bunch of kids who go out on a trek, and it's all about you're only as quick as you are, based on who's the slowest person in your team, who's the bottleneck in your team. You can do everything else to get the rest of the team up, but if you've got a bottleneck, if you've got a slow person, that is going to be as fast as you're going to move as a company. And then in this case, it was a person called Herbie in the book. So it was always a question of look out for where's Herbie in your company, and it's a very simple concept, but it goes a long way.
Finally, which big idea is going to shape your industry over the next decade?
It's all about content. We've seen the way content has changed. I spoke about it earlier, and everything's moved into clouds, everything's moved into apps, and this is the way it's going to move forward anymore. It's not about being the best platform, it's about having the right content and delivering the content through a way that people want it and a way they can reach it.
But how does that impact you as a consumer electronics retailer when you're looking 3-5 years ahead and doing your 5-year plan? Tangibly, what do you have to do differently to take this into consideration?
Well, in the short term, one thing is people have to upgrade their hardware and then their technology for it as well. If you are going to be on the Android platform, you need to have an Android smartphone. If you are going to be on an Apple platform, you need to have an Apple smartphone or an iPad with you. So you need to do that. But it's the same thing with televisions as well. If you're going to have video-on-demand services with 3D television broadcasting in HD coming in down the pipe on eLife or something that similar to that, you need to have a television that's compatible to that. You need to have the router that works with that. So it's all about having this with you at the moment. And things are only going to get quicker, they're going to get faster, they're going to get sleeker, and we need to move on with our investment in the hardware as well at the same time.
When we buy the latest gadget from Jacky's or from wherever, we're worried that they're going to become obsolete very quickly. And I guess with technology changing perhaps quicker than ever, that's increasingly so. In some ways, that's a good thing for you. If we're changing our TV every 2 years, great. Then we're back in your store buying a new TV. On the other hand, we're perhaps nervous about upgrading because we think, well, the next upgrade might be coming around the corner. So we just keep on putting off and putting off and putting off. Oh, I'm not going to buy an HD TV. I'll just hang on and wait till the 3G one comes out, and so on and so forth. How do you address these concerns? It's both an opportunity and a threat.
Well, there are a couple of things. I mean, the one is you do find a lot of technology tends to move within the household. If it is a 3D TV getting in the living room now, means there is going to be a television that ends up moving into the bedrooms, into the kids' room to an extent. So we do see that as one process that starts to happen. But a lot of these products have become personal. A lot of it used to be about having a product in the household and everyone sharing it. And guess what? We're greedy. I mean, we all want our own product now. It's all about it's you. It's your personality in the product that you've got now. All of us want our own camera. All of us want our own laptop.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
and it defines you as a person as well. I mean, you wave around an iPad. You're not going to share that with the rest of the family. It's yours. And this is how things have moved on now. So you do have that. You do have the hand-me-downs within the family that go on. But yeah, it's something we're addressing. There are programs we're working on to do this, and probably we can share it in a couple of months with you as well. But definitely there are things to look at. And of course, we are in the holy month of Ramadan. There is a time of year where there is a lot of charity that happens, and this is the time where you see a lot of these products getting donated as well. You've seen the relief efforts for Pakistan at the shelter, for example. You've seen a lot of people donating over there. You've seen people donating mobile phones at a lot of the Mall of the Emirates, Data City Centre, mid the city centre locations, because they've been asking for these over there in the charity drive. So this is the time to actually help out as well. And we can look at the charitable angle of it as well. I mean, as Jackies, we may not be able to help at the moment over there, but there are ways to dispose of these and to do it responsibly.
Ashish, we're going to have to leave it there. As always, a great pleasure talking to you. Many, many thanks indeed for joining us on The Bigger Picture. Ashish Panjabi, Chief Operating Officer of Jacky's. Thank you indeed.
Thank you.